Gamer Braves. What's up, Tamers? This is Juan Emerald from Gamer Braves, and today we're looking at the Digimon Vital Bracelet, the latest in a long line of virtual pet toys from the freaking 90s. However, this time, it's more than feeding your Digimon to stop it from turning into a giant pile of poo. This time, you've got to exercise. Making me think that I've got to exercise to take care of my XVmon is probably the most clever way people have tried to get me to go out for a jog, giving this the one award for the greatest invention of 2021. If you want one for yourself, don't forget to check out our friends over at Impulse Gaming. And more information on how to get that at the end of the video. So before we start talking more about the Vital Bracelet, let's free it from its boxy prison over here. Ta-da! I should point out, this is the special fluorescent green edition. Again, more information on purchasing it at the end of the video. So, as you can tell by the fact that I keep my arms perpetually covered in blazer sleeves, I don't exercise very much. There is no gun show here. At all. So that's why the Vital Bracelet is a pretty clever way to get people like me to exercise. It measures your pulse as well as your steps and uses that as a way to strengthen your Digimon. You can even take special missions that allow your Digimon to grow. Like it'll tell you to go and do 6,000 steps, for example, and then you get a special encounter. Now the problem is this does lead to some clingy behavior. If you want to get to Paildramon by the end of the week, you're gonna have to keep this on at all times. And ladies, all times. Well, not at all times. Bandai recommends that you don't wash your hands while you're wearing this because it's not entirely waterproof. The bracelet is meant to be used with the Digimon Vital companion app, but you don't necessarily need it since, it's only out in Japan right now. So unless you can understand Japanese, it's gonna be quite a hard app to use, is what I'm saying. If you're just using the bracelet, you can still have up to 2 Digimon, as well as walk around and get random encounters to fight off wild Digimon. Even though the bracelet is meant to be used with the Vital Lab companion app, that isn't necessarily the case. The app's in Japanese for one, so don't be discouraged if you can't read Japanese, since you can get plenty far in the game without it. Most importantly is that you can accept missions on the bracelet and still walk around and do random battles, building up your victory points for your Digimon. The problem is, if you've seen the Digimon Tribe movies, you'll realize that life kind of imitates art, and as a grown-up, you don't always have time to go off on adventures and battle other Digimon. You also have to be pretty considerate of the Digimon sleeping habits, so if you're the type of person whose 1 hour of exercise a day is usually at night, you're probably not going to get the Digimon you want since it's going to be asleep. Admittedly, this makes it a little harder to recommend if you're an adult, because as adults, we have adult life things and can't go off battling random Digimon. Imagine if I tried to tell my boss that I needed to get out of the office right now to go battle my Digimon. I would not be making this video right now. However, if you are like me and a child of the 90s and desperate for any kind of nostalgia, this is definitely a near authentic experience of the virtual pet craze back in the 90s. So as you can see after that last cut, I've decided to put it on.
Magic.
So, having put it on, it feels pretty good on your wrist. Like it doesn't feel like it's gonna fall off and break or anything, which is a really good thing because that's my biggest fear. It's why I don't usually wear a watch. One feature that I really like about this, that they've kept from the virtual pet, is the ability to cheat the system. So back in the day, we didn't have fancy GPS-based pedometers. Back in the day, we had a ball bearing inside of the thing that moves the step counter up 1 every time you shake it. So by right, you're supposed to shake it by walking, but in this case, you can just kind of move your arm to shake it. I really like this for several reasons. First of all, it's a great accessibility feature because not everyone can walk. So people who cannot walk for whatever reason can still get plenty of exercise in for their Digimon by just shaking their hand. Secondly, and this is a more personal story, is that lazy people who don't get off their couch can still get the Digimon they want without having to, go out and walk. However, if you're gonna do this while working, I recommend doing it when you're alone because it is going to lead to some uncomfortable meetings with HR. So just like the virtual pets, Digimon don't have a linear evolution line. Instead, they have multiple Digivolutions that can go through all with different conditions, such as wind conditions, or your care. If you really care about this, you're gonna need to start keeping a spreadsheet. I really like this because Digimon has always been that kind of really elaborate series where you have to keep a spreadsheet for the Digimon you want, and I'm glad that they kept that in this time. Currently, there's a total of 79 different Digimon that you can get in this game. Of course, that is counting like all the baby forms, the rookie forms, the champions, etc. New base Digimon can be acquired via the DIM cards, which are sold separately. These are the ones that come in the box, but there are additional DIM cards that you can buy as well, giving you new Digimon, such as the ever-lovely Black Agumon. Just because you're keeping the Digimon that comes with the bracelet, don't get rid of your DIM card though, because if your Digimon dies, you're going to need to plug it in again to get a new one. I should note that unlike the virtual pets, Digimon cannot die of fatigue or forgetting to eat. Instead, they can only die the way God intended, by glorious battle. So if you want your Digimon to not die in battle, you're gonna need to improve their stats, which means more exercise. Look, you may not care about your health, but do it for Vmon. Please. So when you open the box, one thing you may notice is this black DIM card that says VS memory on it. And what this does is it gives a space for you to move your Digimon. Just plugging it in here, your Digimon goes on board and you can hand it off to your friend, and now you can fight your friends. So now that we've talked about how the game aspect of it works, let's talk a little bit about the device itself. For starters, it uses a USB cable to charge. The one that it comes with in the kit is really tiny, so you're expected to be plugging this into your laptop, not into some sort of separate charger. Second thing is the battery life. This thing's got a battery life of about 18 hours, so just because it looks like a Fitbit, don't expect it to last as long as a Fitbit. A Fitbit's only job is monitoring your health. This one's also, taking care of your Digimon for you. One important thing to note is that the screen scratches like really easily, especially if you're going to use its NFC gimmick to farm more battles. Definitely look into getting a screen protector if you're going to be using it a lot. So, by now you've heard me talk about the Vital Lab at least once. The Vital Lab has a bunch of great features if you want to expand the way you play with this. The most important one is the ability to store extra Digimon. Look, I get it, some of us are collectors. We want to have multiple Digimon. And the problem with just slotting in a new DIM card every time you want a new Digimon is that you will reset the stats of your old Digimon. This way, if say I already have a Greymon, I can keep it in my phone and swap it out for a Vmon or whatever. You can also do things like special missions to get extra stats for your Digimon, as well as the ability to do Tamer level. What the Tamer level does is it gives you an overall tracking of your progress. So just because I have a weak Digimon on my bracelet now doesn't mean I don't have, 5 more in the Vital Lab app. And that's the most important thing. They haven't fully implemented all the features for the Tamer level, so right now it's just a big badge to show you how much you've played the game. Now, I do want to complain about something here. So like I said, you can actually have up to 2 Digimon in the bracelet at once, because unlike the original virtual pet, DNA Digivolution is actually a big thing here. DNA Digivolution is the process where you combine 2 different Digimon, like our buddy Omegamon here. So this way you can have Melgarurumon and Wargreymon combined to form Omegamon in your watch. So, for some reason, Paildramon and Paildramon are treated as the ultimate and mega forms of XVmon instead of a fusion in what I can only describe is Stingmon erasure. Bandai, why are you gonna do my boy dirty like this? Anyways, the Vital Lab is only in Japanese right now with no word of an English release yet, but we'll keep you updated if that changes anytime soon. Alright, let's be real here. No one is buying this as a fitness tracker. We're all buying this because we want to live our Digimon adventures again. And that's fine. If you want the nostalgia, definitely go for it. I mean, it's a lot less demanding than the original virtual pets here were. You definitely won't be spending any time flushing poop with this, so that's definitely a plus. All your Digimon companion asks of you is that you go for the occasional jog. So I'd say it's a great step up from the original virtual pet, especially for the adults who grew up with them, because now it doesn't need as much of their time, just a little more in the form of a jog. If you want for your own, they're available in black and white for 229 ringgit, or the special fluorescent green version that we've got here for 359 ringgit. You can also get the DIM cards in sets of 2 for 69 ringgit, with new ones coming out in May and June. Again, if you want to get those, be sure to check out our friends over at Impulse Gaming, which is where we got this lovely specimen from. This has been Juan Amarillo from Gamer Braves, and remember, Stingmon is a Digimon, and he is love and he is life. Hey there! Thank you so much for watching our videos. Don't forget to give us a subscribe if you'd like to see more, and like so we know what kind of content you want to see. Got suggestions for new content? Let us know in the comments below too. Thank you so much again for watching. Take care, dudes.